Hello, welcome back to another episode of Why Are Comic Books So Addictive? Yes, they are. It's been so long since I made a video under this topic, but let's talk about it. It is addictive. Still is. After all these years. I'm not sure when I will load this video, but just to date this video so that down the road people will see I made this video early April 2019. So someday, a few years from now, some people will watch it and can figure out when I made this video. The one thing, a lot of people love this hobby, but over the past many decades, this hobby has changed so much, okay? The hardest thing for old timer like me is not comparing what's going on today with what we saw or experienced 20, 30, or even 40 years ago. Okay? It's hard to do that. It's hard to look at the current trend and say, well, this is gonna be terrible because this happened back in the 90s and this and that. And I have said this many times on this channel, is that as crazy as the current market is, the trend is not the same as the variant craze of the 90s. Nothing the same. Okay, the only thing that's similar is the word variant. And I'm sure 20 years from now, the newer collectors that are getting into this hobby will be different. How different? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. It is really impossible. The crystal ball is very cloudy. At least my crystal ball is. I don't know. I cannot predict. I cannot. I got so many questions over the past few years. That is this the top? Is it time to sell? Is this gonna crash? What's hot? What's not? I don't know. Sure, I will give a best guess answer, but at best it is a guess. The only thing that I can say that I got right over the past 10 years since I returned to this hobby is that it's not crashing anytime soon. If it did, I would have gone crazy buying so many books in the past 10 years. Because I have heard it. I heard it in 2008, 2009, 2010. The crash is coming. And for the most part, it hasn't come. There have been ebbs and flow with this hobby. Prices have fluctuated. Some books have went crazy. Some books has crashed. But you can't apply. There is no sweeping generalization that you can use for the entire hobby. The old saying, buy what you love and everything will be fine. Or if you buy what you love, it doesn't really matter what it's worth because you want the books anyway, you enjoy the books anyway, and for the most part, that's true. But a lot of people are in this hobby for the money, for the profit, for the investment potential. So there's different ways other people enjoy the hobby. Okay, I'm not here to preach to people, how to enjoy the hobby. One of the things that is hard for me to adapt is social media. Being an old timer, sure, I'm on YouTube. I make a lot of video on YouTube, but at the same time, I'm not showing everything, sharing everything, because to me, a big part of collecting, how I enjoy the hobby, is the solitude of it. I enjoy sitting down, going through my collection, going through my boxes and cabinets and look at the books, lay them out. There are times where I actually pull out, a bunch of books and just lay them flat on the floor and just admiring them. There's a lot of solitude enjoyment of this hobby for me, I have heard some people say, "Oh, what's the point of not sharing? This hobby is all about sharing." And I'm just like, how did you do that in the 70s, the 80s, or 90s, when there is no social media? Did you not enjoy the hobby when there was no sharing? Yeah. So it always annoys me when I hear those that think that this hobby is all about sharing. It's a new thing. It works for a lot of current collector. Note, I didn't say younger collector. There's a lot of old timer that embrace social media. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on everywhere. Okay, they can't wait to broadcast every single thing that is going on with their hobby or with their collections. A lot of people's like that. For sure, a lot of younger collectors are like that, and it works. That's how they enjoy the hobby. It doesn't have to be the way I enjoy the hobby. I share some stuff I don't share. It's not important for me to share everything. It's fun for me to share some stuff, but it's not important. That's the big distinction that I try to communicate to other people in this hobby, is that I don't need to show everything that I bought. I don't need to show every book that I have in my collection. I don't need to do a lot of stuff. There is no have to. I don't have to do anything. I just do what I feel is right, what I think is fun for me. At the end of the day, that's how I enjoy this hobby, is my own way, right? It's not how anyone else like to dictate. One of the things that turned me off the most when I first joined the CGC forum, when I first returned to the hobby, one of the biggest turn off that I had was, the CGC forum was, before social media. That's, like for many collectors, that was like one of the very first places that you go to share your love of the hobby. And part of that sharing is showing what you have. If you don't show what you have, some people think that you don't have anything, and your opinions and your love for the hobby or whatever you want to say about the hobby doesn't mean a heck of a lot. Okay, I'm sure some people that have been around the CGC forum understand what I'm talking about, and that was one of my biggest turn off of the forum, is that there's a lot of people that think by sharing what they have, somehow it validates their opinions. It doesn't. Not one bit. Not for me. Not for this person. Okay, so it's something that even now, after being on YouTube for a few years, I don't see myself changing to the new environment. I'm staying off Instagram for the most part. Sure, I still have Instagram on my phone, because occasionally I share pictures of nice dinner with my family, occasionally. But I'm not even on Facebook. I can't recall the last time I logged into Facebook to look at anything. So over that place. So I pick and choose what I want to share. I pick and choose social media, how I want to use it. I said this many times to people before. Social media is not an open door policy for people. Okay, some people think social media is like some kind of fair playground that they have a voice in saying and be involved in anything they see. No. That's the reason why, regardless of Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, there are blocks, mute, delete, ignore. There's all kind of options for the people that share, because it's not. Okay, there's a lot of misconception what social media is. No. Yes, everybody have equal rights, but it's not as if like you can say and do whatever you want. It's not for me. That's why I use my block, delete whenever I feel like it. I don't have to engage with anybody. It's not their rights to invade my space because it's social. Yes, I put myself out there with YouTube, but that does not mean that I have to engage with anyone that I chose not to. And that's it. As much as I enjoy the hobby, certainly adapting to the new environment is not easy, at least not for me. Thanks for watching.